Now, before we jump into our segment, Greg, you said you had a topic of conversation you were going to bring. Did you want to go and air that out?
Yeah, so I kind of work in an open office space. Kind of work. I just show up there. I don't work there. No, I work in an open office, and staring at a computer all day can kind of make your mind go wonky. And
Sure.
You already know I have like a lot of random weird thoughts.
Okay.
And I brought this up to my coworkers, and we had quite the debate on it, and I'd like to know your thoughts.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm wondering, so my question is, do you think dairy cows like or dislike lactose intolerant people?
Well, first I thought you were going to ask if they liked getting milked, and I was going to have to say...
Well, that's
think
also
that's an interesting question.
that's a factor. There's many a variable in this.
this is an all-encompassing question.
Yeah, this is complex. Like
We're trying to go for deep cuts.
Yeah, you know.
Well, here's the thing, right? If someone's lactose intolerant, they can't drink milk, which means that there won't be a need for milk, which means that the cow won't be exploited for its milk anymore.
But it'll still be killed and slaughtered, probably.
See, that's my counterpoint on it, because then a dairy cow ceases to be a dairy cow and becomes a cow. And
a
then
cattle
then
cow.
we can just use it for the meat.
So are we saying that lactose intolerant people actually
Save cows.
give the cow its identity? Or
Yeah, it gives it a purpose in society that's useful for us. That
Other
keeps
than
them
being
alive.
slaughtered, yeah.
Yep. But now there's another point on that. So
Okay.
our theory, you know, that they'll become meat. A lack of drinking milk, like there's not a correlation between milk drinking and, you know, the demand of meat. You know, just because I'm not having a glass of milk now doesn't mean, hey, I should have a steak. So maybe we're flawed in that aspect of
Okay.
it. So that's
wait,
another
flawed how? I'm not following.
flawed how. So we're saying
Take
yeah,
a minute here, Chase.
Come into my world for a second.
You're saying it's not like a 1-for-1 ratio.
Yeah, it's not a one. They're not substitutes for one another, or even complementary products
So you're
or
saying
actions.
just because milk demand goes down doesn't mean that beef demand goes up.
Correct.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
That's sort of where I have to start my line of discussion here. I would say that I would like lactose intolerant people because, I mean, the only reason dairy cows continually have milk to provide is because they get them pregnant and it has the calf, and then they just never stop milking it.
Yeah.
So its body thinks it needs to always be creating milk. And like, it's one thing to be maybe you're a minimum wage worker getting exploited in a kitchen. It's another thing to have your body juices be like at
dry.
the whim of another species.
Yeah, like you're forced in a sauna and someone's just collecting your sweat for 10 years.
Oh my God, that had to have come up in that discussion because that's a fantastic analogy.
No, that just popped in now.
That's just happened?
Because you brought that up. So,
There you go.
Yeah, that's how the world works.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I would like lactose intolerant people because I wouldn't want to be continuously milked unless being milked felt good.
Yeah, see, that's a huge point. You brought that up right away. Because do we know? Like, maybe that's kind of like a weird thing. Like, some people like having their nipples touched.
Exactly.
I'm
yeah.
not one of those, so stay away from it tonight, guys.
They're
Yeah.
technically nipples of the cow.
Yeah, but they're the nipples of the cow.
They're
so.
big, impressive nipples.
Yeah.
Now-
that is a word.
Now, you've had this discussion for a while. Are you undecided or do you know?
I'm leaning towards that they actually, I guess, dislike them. Actually, no, now I don't know because there's another element to this. So we discussed the demand of meat not changing.
Yeah.
You know, but then the supply of dairy cow will be decreased, so there won't like be an overslaughtering of them. So we won't be breeding dairy cows as frequently, so there'd be less of them and more room for them to roam around. So actually, no.
That's a good thing.
I think that they like lactose intolerant people.
Yeah,
End of
that's
day.
what I'm saying. That's going to be my answer.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate. I'm going to say that they don't like lactose intolerant people.
No, why is that?
Because people that drink milk give them their purpose, which is to be a dairy cow as opposed to being a meat cow.
So they would essentially lose their identity.
Well, it's not that they have an identity from the start.
No,
it's
they
the
totally
fact,
do.
It's the fact that their life, the fact that what they're being used for by humans is not strictly to be slaughtered.
Yeah, because they're forced
It's for something
role.
else. You're doing something else, and you still get to be alive and roam around and stuff. So.
Okay.
That's my stance.
Well, interesting question, Greg.
I like that. Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Now,